The galaxy was at war. Stars burned. Fleets vanished. Planets died screaming. But Earth stayed silent. Far from the front lines. Humanity watched quietly from its place on the edge of the spiral arm. Every day, news came in from deep space empires. Collapsing, alliances breaking, entire species disappearing. People on Earth called it the Great Galactic War. But it wasn't humanity's war. Not yet. For nearly 30 years, humans had refused to join either side. They didn't send soldiers. They didn't trade weapons. Their message to the galaxy was clear. This is not our fight. And the galaxy listened for a while. In the giant cities of the Terran Union, people returned to normal life. Children played. Scientists built. Farmers worked. Earth seemed peaceful, but not everyone trusted that peace would last. Commander Eric stood in front of a large tactical screen deep inside a hidden base under Antarctica. He watched as red lights blinked across the map, each one a destroyed planet. He sighed. They're getting closer, he said. His second in command, Lena, nodded. Another system fell this morning. 6 planets wiped out. No survivors. Eric didn't blink. And still, the Council hopes they'll stop on their own. Lena shook her head. The Council is broken. Eric turned toward her. That means we're on our own. Back in orbit, Earth's monitoring station Sentinel-3 tracked the war from far away. It was a quiet day until an operator saw something. Strange. Captain, he said, voice tense. We have movement near the rings of Saturn. Pirates? The captain asked. No. It's too large. A massive ship, dark and silent, had entered the system. It didn't answer hails. It didn't follow any known flight path. It just floated. Then it vanished. No engines. No jump signature. Gone in seconds. The captain stared at the screen, jaw tight. Log it. Don't alert the public. Not yet. In the cities below, people went about their lives. Some wore peace pins, proud of humanity's decision to stay out of the galactic war. Others argued that Earth should have helped the Galactic Council years ago, but most believed the same thing. The war won't come here. They were wrong. In deep space, far beyond Pluto, a small outpost named Relay 94 stopped transmitting. No warning. No damage detected. Just silence. A recovery team was sent. They found the station frozen, broken, and empty. No bodies, no heat. Every system was wiped. It looked like the station had been dead for 1,000 years, but the team had just spoken to them. 12 hours ago. The only thing left was a short recording, one sentence repeated by a terrified voice. They're coming. They're coming. They see us now. The footage reached Earth's Defense Command within hours. General Eric watched it in silence. They found us, he whispered. Lena stepped forward. Do we alert the public? Not yet, Eric said. Panic won't help. She looked at him. What do we do? He didn't smile. We prepare. What the galaxy didn't know was that Earth had never truly been silent. While the great empires fought and burned, humanity had been building in the dark, under ice, beneath oceans, and beyond the stars. They called it the Ghost Protocol. Earth had listened to every battle, recorded every mistake, and learned what worked and what didn't. The silence was not weakness. It was planning. In a secure chamber, buried beneath Mount Kilimanjaro, 12 world leaders gathered. The president of all. Earth stood. We have avoided this war for 30 years, she said. But the enemy is now at our gates. She looked around the room. We must ask one final time. Do we join this war? Or do we end it? No one spoke for a long time. Then Eric stepped forward. He pressed a button on his wrist, and across the G. Solar system. Hidden doors opened. Massive ships powered on. Stealth platforms activated. Deep space satellites turned. The titans of Earth. Once thought to be myths awoke. Humanity had stayed out of the war, but the war had come to them. And now, Earth was ready to answer, not with words, but with silence sharp enough to cut. Asterisk, the stars above Earth were calm. No enemy ships. No battles, but peace was only on the surface. Deep in space, something had already begun. Commander Eric stood inside the war room beneath Antarctica. The lights were dim, and the giant screen showed the last known data from Relay 9-4. The listening post that had gone dark. The screen flashed. Again. Another signal lost. Relay 95, Lena whispered. It's gone too. Eric didn't move. Second outpost in less than 20 hours. Lena leaned closer to the screen. Still no visuals, no sensor readings, just gone. He looked at her. They're not attacking. What are they doing then? They're testing us. In orbit above Mars, the stealth cruiser Ghostlight floated silently, cloaked and hidden. It was one of Earth's most advanced ships, never seen by the galaxy, never used in battle. Captain Marin stood at the observation window. She had trained her entire life for a war that was never supposed to happen. Now, it was here. Deploy. Scouts, she ordered. No lights, no signals, just eyes. Within minutes, 3 drone probes launched from Ghostlight. They moved like shadows, no sound, no trails. They vanished into the black. Hours passed. Then, something unexpected happened. One of the drones returned, but not whole. Its outer shell was melted. Its data core, half-destroyed. Marin brought the damaged drone into her war room. The engineers pulled what little data remained. One blurry frame played again and again. A dark shape in space, long, smooth, unnatural. No engines, no weapons, but it was moving toward Earth, slow and steady. On Earth, Eric watched the feed. He zoomed in on the single shape. No known signatures, no known materials. Just a shape that absorbed light like a black hole. He looked at Lena. Send a warning to the President. Code Black. Meanwhile, on the moon base Luna Station, workers had no idea what was coming. They continued repairs, refueling shuttles, running mining drills. Then, the lights flickered, just once, then again. The sky above the base turned darker, not light, but shadow. The shadow moved. A scream came through the combs. Something's over us. It's blocking the stars. Then silence. Complete. Luna Station vanished. No explosion. No impact. Just erased. Back on Earth, emergency sirens activated. High orbit defense platforms turned toward the moon, but saw nothing. Satellites couldn't lock on. Weapons couldn't aim. What are we facing? The President asked, voice shaking. Eric answered coldly. Something that doesn't want to be seen. Something that's hunting, not attacking. The President paused. So, what do we do? Eric's eyes narrowed. We make it see us. Hours later, Earth launched its first real move. A team of elite operatives, Unit Echo, was sent from the Phantom Gate, Earth's hidden orbital fortress. Their mission: get close to the dark ship near the moon. Tag it. Study it. Return alive. They left silently, moving in a black stealth craft with no name and no beacon. It reached the dark object. For the first time, Earth saw it up close, and it was terrifying. Not made of metal. Not fully alive. It looked grown. It pulsed like it had a heartbeat. And then the operative's voice came through. Tag placed, pulling back. But the voice changed. Soft, at first. Then pain, then screams. The feed cut. Echo was lost. No warning. No explosion. Just silence. Again. Back. On Earth, the data received from the mission shocked the command. Lena stared at the readout. This thing, it's absorbing energy. It feeds off scans. Weapons might make it stronger. Eric nodded slowly. so we don't fight it the way it wants. He tapped the console and activated Earth's oldest, most silent program, Project Obsidian. A name only 5 people knew. It had never been used. Until now. In deep orbit, a long-forgotten Terran ship powered on. It had no windows. No lights. No crew. Only purpose. Its armor was blacker than space. Its signal invisible. It didn't fly. It floated on silence. It left Earth quietly and followed the shadow. Later that night, the galaxy's media picked up a strange report. Earth has lost contact with its lunar colony. No one knew what really happened. No one knew Earth had just been attacked. And Earth wasn't talking, because for the first time in a century, humanity was preparing to answer, and that answer would not come in words. Asterisk. The moon was still gone. No smoke. No debris. Just nothing. Earth's satellites scanned endlessly, trying to understand what had happened. But the truth was clear now. Luna Station had been erased. Not destroyed. Erased. In a dark room inside Earth. Defense Command. Commander Eric sat alone, reading through old mission files. These were records from before the war. From before Earth became silent. One file glowed red. Varn Directive, closed intel. He opened it. It was a report from over 80 years ago. A Terran scout team had made contact with a strange, silent species in uncharted space. They called themselves the Varn. They had no language. No leaders. No peace. Just motion. They would appear. In dead systems, planets would vanish. Energy fields would collapse. Then they would disappear again. No pattern. No reason. Just silence. And now they had returned. Eric called Lena into the room. She entered quickly, eyes focused. "They're Varn," he said, sliding the file to her. She read the report. Her skin paled. "I thought they were only a rumor. A myth. Most of the council thought the same. And Earth? We never forgot them." He looked at her, his voice low. "We saw what they did before, but this time it's different. They're not just wandering anymore. They're hunting." Across the sea, deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, a forgotten chamber came to life. Project Obsidian, a long-dormant Earth. Defense system had activated. No alarms. No lights. Just cold silence. The heart of the system was Obsidian Core 1, a ship. Without weapons. No missiles. No beams. Instead, it carried Earth's most dangerous weapon, recorded truth. Meanwhile, the president of Earth called a global emergency meeting. World leaders, generals, scientists, and advisors sat around the massive round table inside the World Unity Spire. "We didn't act when the Galactic War began," the president said. "We chose peace. Now the war has come to us." Someone stood. "Should we reach out to the council?" Another asked, "Should we ask for help?" General Eric shook his head. "They're too broken to help us." And we stayed out of there. War for too long. No one will come. So what do we do? The president asked. Eric answered, "We stop pretending this is someone else's problem." Back in orbit, the stealth cruiser Ghostlight continued tracking the dark. Varn object. It hadn't moved. It just floated above where the moon used to be. Like a warning, Captain Naren and her crew watched from a safe distance. "This thing," she whispered, "it doesn't behave like a ship." The science officer leaned over. "It's not just absorbing scans. It's absorbing thought." "What?" "It adjusts faster when we observe it. It changes behavior when we pay attention. Like it's learning? Like it's watching. Use more than we're watching it." At that moment, Obsidian Core 1 entered high orbit. It didn't send signals, it didn't speak, it simply faced the dark shape. And sent a pulse, not a weapon, not a wave, a memory, a file, old and encrypted. record of the first Varn contact. Earth had kept it hidden from the galaxy. And now, Earth was sending it back to the Varn. The black shape twitched. Only slightly. And then for the first time, it responded. It pulsed back. Signal. One word. In every language known across the Jinn. Stars. Observed. Lena read the message aloud. What does it mean? Eric stood at the window, staring at the stars. It means they've been watching us, just like we watched them. And now? Now they're ready to act. Across the galaxy, distant outposts picked up the same signal. Alien empires panicked. Some believed Earth had awakened something old and dangerous. Others believed Earth had caused the enemy to move again. But no one was sure what the Varn wanted, except Earth. Earth knew exactly what was coming. In a secret mountain base. An old soldier who hadn't spoken in years finally opened his eyes. He looked at the screen, saw the word observed, and whispered, "It begins again." All across Earth, old machines turned on, hidden bunkers unlocked, black ships powered up. And for the first time in a century, Earth no longer hid. It no longer stayed silent. The war was no longer just out there. It had found humanity. And this time, Earth would not wait. The moon had already vanished once. Luna Station gone. Hundreds of workers, engineers, and peacekeepers. All erased without a sound. But now something worse had happened. The moon had returned. From Earth's surface, telescopes and orbital satellites confirmed it. A strange object had formed where the moon once was not the original moon, but something shaped like it, a perfect copy, same orbit, same mass. But this version was wrong. Its surface glowed faint green. Its craters had patterns that moved, slowly, like breathing skin. And worst of all, it was hollow. Captain Marin aboard the Stealth. Ship Ghostlight watched the footage in silence. "It's not a moon," she whispered. "It's a ship, a station, maybe even a body." Her science officer confirmed it. Inside the false moon, hundreds of Varn life signatures had awakened. Not moving, not speaking, just waiting. Down on Earth, Eric stood before the World Defense Council. His voice was hard, cold. They didn't just return the moon. They rebuilt it in their image. He pointed at the live scan. "This isn't invasion. It's occupation. We are no longer in their way. We are beneath them now." The room fell silent. Lena, reading a new transmission from deep space satellites, looked up from her console. "We just lost signal from Station Echo 5 near the asteroid belt. Same pattern, instant blackout. No sign of attack." Eric turned toward the war table. We waited long enough. He pressed a button, and far beneath the oceans, Earth's ghost fleet awoke. 50 black ships, no names. No flags rose from the water in complete silence. Each one powered by dark energy systems that had never been shown to the galaxy. These ships weren't built to fight like others. They were built to erase threats before they grew. Each one carried no standard crew, only silent operators. And one secret pilot, Callan. Callan sat alone in his small stealth fighter, the Night Knife, waiting for orders. He had trained for years under Earth's shadow program. He had never fought in a real war, until now. "Callan," Eric said over encrypted comms, "you are authorized for silent approach. Objective: enter the false moon. Find its center. Do not engage. Observe and report." Callan replied with just one word: "Copy." As the Night Knife rose into orbit, cloaked and invisible, the stars seemed to darken around him. The false moon grew larger on his screen. Its skin rippled faintly, and strange lights pulsed beneath the surface. His sensors showed nothing inside. No heat, no weapons. But his instincts said otherwise. This place was watching. The ship passed through the outer shell like mist. No resistance. No alarms. Inside, He saw it an entire city, glowing green and black, resting on a smooth metal floor. Buildings with no doors, towers made of flowing liquid, creatures shaped like shadows, standing still, and at the center, a single floating cube, large as a mountain dot. It pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. Callan activated his scanner. No reaction. He moved closer. Still nothing. He reached the cube and placed a tag beacon on its surface. Tag. Placed, he whispered. Suddenly. The cube opened. Not with fire, not with noise, but with a whisper. A single sound echoed through his ship's systems, though he wore no headset. No speakers were active. You watched. Now we returned the gaze. Callan's eyes widened. He reached for the controls. Too late. The cockpit filled with light. Not pain, not heat, just memory. He saw flashes. Earth, burning not now, but long ago. A world ending in silence, and something rising from it. Something made of both machine and will. He saw cities swallowed by nothing, not destroyed, not invaded. Converted. And then he saw himself, floating in space. Alone. Forgotten. Back on Earth. Eric waited for Callan's report, but no signal came, only static. Night Knife had vanished. No explosion. No trace. Just like Luna Station. In the skies above Earth. The false moon pulsed once more. And from its side, a single ship dropped. Smooth, black, silent. It landed in the Pacific Ocean. No hatches opened. No weapons fired. It just sank below the waves. Earth tracked it, but did not act. Not yet. Eric turned to Lena. They're not testing us anymore. What are they doing? He looked at the growing map of black shapes appearing in orbit. They're building something, using our sky. She asked quietly, should we stop them? He stared at the screen for a long time, then answered, no. We make them regret starting. The world watched the skies. News feeds called it the new moon. Scientists warned it wasn't natural. People in the streets didn't sleep. They stared upward, afraid that one day the sky would fall. But the real danger was already here. Enemy wasn't coming. The enemy had landed. Deep in Earth's command vault beneath the Atlantic Ocean, Commander Eric stood before the silent screen. No word from Callan. His stealth ship was gone, just like Luna Station. He turned to Lena. We've been quiet long enough. She nodded. Activate phase block? He hesitated, then said, all of it. Above the Pacific, satellites caught something terrifying. The enemy ship that fell from the fake moon didn't crash at Doug. It bore deep into the ocean, silently opening underground trenches that hadn't shifted in a million years. What was it doing down there? No one knew, but Earth wasn't going to. Wait to find out. Beneath the Rocky Mountains, 12 massive steel doors opened. Inside were old war machines, unseen since Earth withdrew from the galactic scene. But these weren't ordinary tanks or planes. These were adaptive frames, living metal powered by Earth's strongest AI cores and connected to soldiers by neural links. They weren't designed for defense. They were designed for overwhelming silence. Across Earth, millions were evacuated quietly. People weren't told the full truth. Only that a drill was happening. Cities emptied. Skies cleared, and from the ground, Earth's hidden fleet began to rise. The Varn didn't react. They didn't need to. Their false moon simply rotated, pulsing calmly in space like a beating heart. Inside it, they observed, watched, waited, they didn't fear Earth. They didn't understand. Earth, not yet, then Earth showed its real face, not the peaceful blue planet of stories, but the silent war machine that had waited in the dark. Ghost ships, decloaked one by one. Their black hulls shimmered in low orbit, blocking starlight. Each one had no lights, No windows, just deep armor and ancient power. Each one had only one purpose: to erase anything that crossed Earth's line. The Galactic Council, still reeling from its own defeats, received the transmission from Earth. "This is a Terran broadcast. You ignored our silence. You mistook it for weakness. This will be corrected." Asterisk asterisk aboard one of Earth's flagship dreadnoughts, the TDS Revenant. Eric stood on the bridge. Before him floated the false moon. He raised one hand. "Open the line," he said. Lena tapped a control. A red light blinked. "You're live," she said. Eric looked directly at the screen, knowing the Varn had no language, but hoping they understood tone. "This is Earth," he said. "We watched your war. We watched your destruction. We gave you peace. You answered with death." He leaned closer to the mic. "Now we answer. Earth's fleet didn't fire missiles. They launched blanks, stealth probes filled with tracking dust, smart clouds, spread across the enemy ship's surface. Each dust mote carried a sensor. Each sensor fed into Earth's high network. And what they found shocked every general on Earth. The fake moon wasn't a weapon. It was a factory. Inside. It was building more thousands. Small seed ships. Varn duplicates. Clones. One. For every major city on Earth. Lena turned pale. "They're not just observing. They're copying us." Eric stared. "They want to replace us." She whispered, "What do we do?" He said quietly, "We end it before it begins." The Revenant's hull opened. From its dark hangar, the Whisper Lance launched. A long, narrow projectile. It didn't explode. It didn't glow. It just moved fast. Straight into the heart of the false moon. Inside the factory moon. The lance struck the core tube, the same one Callan had touched. There was no explosion. Just a flash of data. A memory. Injection. Earth didn't destroy the Varn. It showed them something. Recording. The final days of humanity's last war. What Earth had done to its enemies. How it had won not with fire, but with silence, fear, and precision. And for the first time, the false moon stopped glowing. The Varn paused. They had seen Earth's truth, and Earth saw theirs. The sky above Earth turned still again. No new seed ships launched. No new pulses came. But Earth didn't relax, because silence now had a new meaning. The Varn were thinking, and Earth knew. Thinking enemies were the most dangerous kind. Asterisk they came without warning. Again. But this time, they didn't come from space. They came from below. At 3:17 UTC, a quiet island in the Pacific shattered into fire. Not from a missile. Not from a ship. But from something rising. The ocean boiled. The sky turned black. And then came the shape, tall, twisted, crawling with black roots and metal tendrils. A Varn ground form. It looked like a city walking on legs. And it was only the first. By morning, they were everywhere. In the Sahara. Beneath ancient sand, they rose. In the jungles of South America. They emerged from deep craters. In the Arctic. They burst through the ice. 12 Varn constructs across Earth, all identical, moving without sound, without language, without mercy. Each one walked toward a major city, not to destroy. To overwrite. Commander Eric stood inside the Terran war nexus beneath Alaska. Dozens of screens lit up with red zones, alerts, and civilian signals. They're activating everywhere, Lena reported. All at once, coordinated. They're not guessing anymore, Eric said. They studied us. Now they're executing their plan. He pointed to the world map, where the Varn zones glowed like infected wounds. They want to turn Earth into another Varn factory, one node at a time. In New Paris, people ran from the streets as the sky filled with black mist dust from the Varn's living machines. The air thickened. Power failed, comms died, and then silence. Nothing worked. But someone did. From the heart of the mist, a Phylance. Shape appeared tall, armored, glowing faintly with blue light. Terran frame Z9. Pilot. Leah Voss. She was one of the last pilots trained under Earth-Sidian line mechs designed to fight things humans couldn't understand. The Varn Tower. Bent toward her. She didn't flinch. She activated her neural link and whispered, "Come closer." Around the world, Earth's true forces activated. From underground bunkers, war mechs walked into the sunlight from the oceans. Black submarines surfaced and released swarms of silent drones. From orbit, Earth's ghost fleet rained down NPCs, disabling anything that wasn't biological or human-made. The Varn resisted, but they didn't adapt fast enough, because Earth had never shown them its final lair. Inside one of the Varn constructs in the Amazon basin, a human team entered through a breached wall. They wore adaptive armor, part eye, part muscle memory. As they moved, they saw what the Varn were building. A perfect copy of a human city. Same streets, same houses, even human statues, but the faces were wrong, twisted. EMOTI Onel ESS. Empty eyes. This isn't cloning, one soldier said. This is replacement. His commander nodded grimly. Let's burn it. In orbit, the Revenant spun slowly, feeding battle data into Earth's global network. Lena turned to Eric. Enemy output is falling. They can't adapt this fast. That's the point, Eric replied. They evolve. But only after watching. He leaned forward, and now we stopped giving them time. Earth's final weapon was ready. Project name, Mirrorfall. A weapon, not of energy, not of mass, not of self-recognition. It activated from orbit, targeting each Varn unit with the same neural echo from Cowan's last flight. It didn't hurt the Varn. It showed them something. The memory of Earth's response to extinction. What humanity had done when it was cornered. How it fought until the stars themselves feared it. What it became when it had nothing left to lose. The Varn trembled. Literally. Their constructs stopped mid-motion. Some fell backward. Others simply collapsed. Not from weapons, but from doubt. One by one, the Varn stopped moving. The black mist faded. The copied cities melted. The sky cleared. And then from all Varn systems came a final signal. You are not what we thought. The message repeated once. Then the false moon in orbit cracked, like ice shattering under heat. It didn't explode. It simply peeled away, dissolving into millions of tiny, dark shards that floated into space. Retreat. Without sound, without another word. On Earth, humanity didn't cheer. They didn't celebrate. They buried their dead. They rebuilt in silence because they knew this wasn't victory. This was a warning returned. Eric stood at the ocean's edge, watching the last of the Varn debris sink into the sea. Lena stepped beside him. Do you think they'll come back? He nodded once. Maybe, but not soon. Why not? He turned toward her, voice quiet. Because now they've seen our real face. And they finally understood. He looked at the stars above. Earth never watches forever. The war had ended, but no one dared say it out loud. Not on Earth. Not in the stars. Because silence now meant something different. It wasn't fear. It was a message. For 3 days, no Varn movement was detected. The black factory stopped. The air cleared. The false moon above Earth was gone, shattered into quiet pieces now floating beyond orbit. Still, Earth did not stand down. Instead, it prepared for what always came after a storm. The questions. In the World Unity Spire, the president of Earth stood before a global broadcast. She looked tired, worn from sleepless nights and the weight of watching humanity walk the edge of extinction. But her voice was clear. Citizens of Earth, people of the stars, We did not start this war. We watched it. We learned from it. And we stayed silent. She paused, but the enemy came. And now they understand why Earth's silence was never weakness. It was patience. Across the galaxy, her message echoed. Message not just for Earth, but for anyone watching far beyond Earth's solar system. In the distant sectors of Council space, alien species watched the broadcast in stunned silence. For decades, they had dismissed humanity as isolationists, cowards, or forgotten relics of a once loud species. But now they saw something else. Species that chose restraint when others chose destruction. A world that prepared in shadows, waiting for the storm to come and ended it when it did. Back on Earth, Commander Eric walked alone through the ruins of an old city, one of the few places the Varn had touched before they fled. He passed broken buildings, cracked roads, but found something strange call-on life. Flowers growing in the rubble. A child playing with a salvaged robot. A street artist painting the stars on a fallen wall. Lena caught up to him, carrying a report. Reconstruction efforts have started, she said. Casualties lower than expected. No signs of Varn re-entry. Eric nodded, staring at the stars. They'll return, someday. And if they do? He looked at her, eyes calm. We won't be watching next time. We'll already be moving. Across the globe, Earth activated a new signal. Not military, not encrypted, open, a message sent to every corner of the galaxy. This is Earth. We do not seek control. We do not demand power. But we will never be silent again. To those who respect, peace, you are not alone. To those who bring war to our door, we answer with everything we are. The signal never stopped. It became known as the Earth Code. A digital heartbeat. A warning. A welcome. A promise. Some species reached out, offering alliance. Others went silent, afraid of what Earth might become. But humanity didn't chase. They didn't. Threatened. They just kept rebuilding. Faster. Smarter. Together. Somewhere beyond known space. Deep in the cold void, a single piece of the false moon drifted. Still intact. Still glowing. Inside it, a memory loop played. Not of war, not of weapons, but of human children, helping each other in the middle of chaos. Of soldiers standing between cities and monsters with nothing but courage. Of a pilot named Callan, vanishing into light, whispering, "Let them see us." The Varn kept that memory. And learned. In the new sky above Earth, a statue was placed in orbit. Metal wings, outstretched toward the stars. It wasn't built to honor victory. It was built to remind everyone of what Earth truly was. Not an empire. Not a machine. Not a target. A survivor. As night fell over the Terran Defense Command Tower, Eric looked out over the ocean. One last time. Lena stood beside him. Still thinking about the message? She asked. He nodded. We've said it now. No going back. Do you regret breaking the silence? He didn't answer at first. Then he said, no, because silence kept us alive. He turned to her. But our voice just changed the galaxy.